fund a lot in building schools, colleges, um, giving ration, groceries. So these kind of CSR investment we used to do. But later on, we realized that if you don't invest in something which is replicable, sustainable, no matter, I mean, you will keep investing every year your CSR money. So then we started investing on people. We started investing on skilling people. And Odisha, I'm so proud to say that Odisha is our biggest partner in skilling. Ev- Every year, we keep seeing the news that ITIs, polytechnic students are getting placed, engineering students are getting placed. Cisco also hires from the engineering colleges of Odisha. And I'm trying to give the level playing field to polytechnics also. So we are trying to go behind the skills only, and we will not look at whether they are an engineering college student or polytechnic student. So very soon we'll see some progress there. Because when we started hiring from Odisha colleges, that was also a very tough journey for us. Why? Because everybody has some preconceived notions about Odisha or eastern part of India, and also, somebody who is not from top 10 or top 20 colleges of India. Mostly the world-class companies like Cisco, Microsoft, Intel, we normally go to IITs, NITs, and some top 10 other institutes of India. 5 years back, we took a call that we will also hire from the other engineering colleges, irrespective of they are from tier 1 city, tier 2 city, whether they are known in the industry or not. We should give this opportunity to, maybe he or she is studying in a college which is far away, 6-7 hours distance from the state capital. So we will try to hire from them as well. 5 years back, we did this pilot. Again, there wasn't too much of expectation in Cisco's leadership, but we did this pilot, and the kind of students we hire from tier 2 cities, and a lot of students came from Odisha as well. Some of them are, way better than the IIT students. We realize that, and they are more loyal, hardworking, far more talented. So so we continued with this program, and we continue to hire from tier 2, tier 3 cities as well, because talent lies everywhere. That's the learning we all got in Cisco. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to take this partnership to newer heights, and with other partners in the ecosystem like Tata Strive. Anita, I was just meeting with your team, and they mentioned that they they are also playing their role in NetAcad program, because employability skills is a very key factor. If you're going to join any corporate or any industry, it's very important to have very good communication skills. And when we say communication skills, we are not talking about English, Hindi, or Odia. You need to learn how to express yourself. We need that kind of confidence in you, and Tata Strive is playing that role for us. We are giving the digital skilling, and Anita, your team is giving them the employability skills. So we together are making the students employable for the industry. So again, with thanks to Bakshi sir, Sanjay sir, thanks for beginning this partnership. Reguji, Usapadi ji, we look forward to take this relationship to greater heights and make Odisha the world capital of India, not only world capital of skills. India, unarguably, Odisha is is state capital, but courtesy to the partnership with ITE, we will make it global very soon. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you, Anurag, and thank you, Cisco. Anurag and Cisco both have been very, very valuable partner for Odisha skilling. And I must tell the audience that Anurag is recovering from a very massive accident which he had met. But his love for the state has actually brought him to participate in this skill conclave. So thanks a lot, Anurag, and I'm sure that the partnership between Cisco and Odisha skill ecosystem will go to further heights. Now I would request Dr. Suresh Kumar Madhusudanan, Chairman and Managing Director of Seagull Group of Companies, to share his thoughts with the audience.
Good morning, the dignitaries sitting on the dais and off the dais, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a pleasure for me to attend such a conclave organized by Government of Orissa for making India as the skilling capital of the world. I appreciate the Government of Orissa for making such a conclave focusing on the youths of Orissa and be the part of making India as the skilling capital of the world. I am the chairman and managing director of a company called Seagull International. It's into the overseas recruitment as well as the domestic recruitment for the last 40 years. We are recruiting and training for thousands of candidates for the last 4 decades for various Middle East countries, Europe countries, in India and all. I'm also the Secretary General of Indo-Gulf and Middle East Chamber of Commerce, where we have chapters in 5 Middle East countries and 4 Indian cities. And I can assure you that actually the Chamber can play a vital role in making Orissa the skill hub for India by bringing the employers from Middle East, and we can also part with the Government of Orissa for such a wonderful initiative. As you are aware of that, actually unemployment is the key crisis of our country. We are the largest populated country, and every year around 1.5 crores of job aspirants are entering into the job market. Around 70 lakhs people are getting on the formal jobs and 35 lakhs are getting into the informal jobs. But rest of the 45 lakhs people are finding difficulty to get the job. Where there is a overseas recruitment organization plays a major role. I being the National General Secretary for the Overseas Recruitment Association called Indian Personnel Export Promotion Council for 5 years, and I got opportunity to interact with various government bodies as far as the skilling and all is concerned. India has got a tremendous scope. If you see the demographic dividend, 65%, 65.2% of the people is on the working class. But unfortunately, the skilled peoples are very less. If you see that actually, India has got the highest education, largest education in the world, having 100 universities, around 51,000 colleges are there in. Around 3.75 crores are people are studying on the higher education. 91 lakh students are graduating every year. And 1.76 are passing SSC. But only, if you see that actually 26% of the people are only graduating, it may go up to 50% by 2030 and all. The main problem is that actually if you see around 15,000 engineering colleges are in India, and 30 lakh students are studying every year, 15 lakhs engineers are passing out or from the engineering college, but they are not able to get the proper job. The main issue what we are facing is that the quality of education and the focus which we are not lacking from the skilling. Mainly, we need to focus on skilling by means of more IITs and polytechnicals. Because I was talking to a few of the officials here. Actually, it is nice to hear that actually Orissa have 160 polytechnics and 476 ITIs. And in case if you can able to increase the number of ITIs in this state, the skilling can be easily done. For an example, I will tell you that around 90 lakhs people are there in GCC countries. And if you see that most of them are from South, especially from Kerala. And in early 80s and 90s, the ITS in Kerala are much, much higher. And recently, after the privatization of the engineering college, local, so many private engineering colleges has come, so many engineering colleges, and the importance of ITA has been come down. And Kerala being the #1 state for sending people abroad, but now it stood on the 7th place because engineers are not getting job. Only 3% of the engineers are getting the desired job. And 13 people are getting somewhat a job. But 80% of the engineers in India is finding difficulty to get a job. That's the area we need to focus actually. We need to focus more on the ITs and polytechnicals and the skill development courses like 3 months, 6 months and 1 year type of courses need to be introduced. And apart from the Middle East region, GCC, the maximum number of people are migrating. But now European countries and other part of the world like Japan, Australia, and certain South American countries are opening up for the employment, but they need the skilled people. Basically, we are also recruiting for the European countries, and the European clients are focusing on Indians, those are worked in GCC countries, not the people worked in India. But the issue what they are facing is that actually the language barrier plus the HSC, health, safety and environmental issues. This and all now we need to add on the curriculum. The safety is one of the key aspects to promote the skill in any sort of this thing to get maximum number of placement. And hope the government of Orissa will take care of all this thing and introduce more programs for skilling the people. And if you want to become Atmanirbhar, and India need to be skilled because the skill approximately during 2019, the skilling of India was less than 3%, and it's now glad to hear that actually it is going to 18 to 19%. At the skill gap of India is around 56%. 56% of the people in the skilled people is the requirement of India. Where if you see that actually China is only 13%. In case if you want to become the hub of the factories of the world, and we need qualified and skilled people. And skilling is, without skilling, India cannot become Atmanirbhar Bharat. That's why I request the government of Orissa and the government of India may take certain, they are doing a lot of activities for promoting skill development and all. And this conclave will be a beginning for making more skilled people of Orissa. And Orissa, I just want to add you that actually we used to recruit a lot of people from Orissa. Orissa people are high demand in the Middle East region because of their character, their sincerity. And we always come to Bhubaneswar and the surrounding of Orissa for recruiting the people. And definitely soon we will start branches in Bhubaneswar also. We have around 15 branches across India and abroad. And soon I am planning to start a branch in Bhubaneswar that will enable most of the people from Orissa can migrate to various overseas countries. And thank you very much. And I express my sincere gratitude for inviting me for this conclave. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Suresh Kumar Madhusudanan, for your insights. Now, although we have overshot the time, but with permission from Principal Secretary, Skill Development Department, Usha Madam, the house is open for questions. If there are any questions, please. can somebody give a mic there? There is a question.
Sir, I am Deputy Director of Procurement from Director of Technical Education, sir. Sir, at the outset, I would like to express my gratitude to all the panelists for their appreciation of the endeavor done by Government of Odisha, particularly by Mr. Bruce Bo for his compliments to Government of Odisha. My question to Mr. Bruce Bo, sir, is that particularly to bridge the skill gap in the green technology, there are very few industries at the international level, leave alone developing countries like India, where there still this latest technology with the industries, those who are very few and still struggling. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, let me repeat the question. If I get it correctly, how do you improve the skilling, particularly in the green economy? Yeah, I think the world is looking at the next revolution, if you like, particularly in green and sustainable technology. Singapore is also looking into this area. And in the area of green is not just, agriculture, although agriculture is one big area, trees, more sustainable, for against climate change, but also in the way we do our business. For example, in manufacturing, there's this growing trend of a circular economy. When you manufacture, how do you make sure that it's green conscious and it's sustainable? And I think every country is looking into this area, and you will pose great opportunities for countries who want to embark in this green technology, including carbon trading and so on. So I think we are stepping up in Singapore in developing our green economy in that sense. If I can, summarize this. I hope I answer your question.
Thank you, Bruce. Any other question, please? I think we will take just one more question after this.
Good morning, sir. My name is Bharadwaj. I represent PwC. We are working with World Skill Center. My question also to Mr. Bruce Po on how Singapore is preparing for lifelong learning and future of work.
Please repeat your question.
Lifelong learning and future of work.
Okay, so I think Bruce Po is in lot of demand today.
I think that's a very excellent question. As you know, the companies changes ever so rapidly, and I always say is that the speed of change in the industry is tremendous. So a person who is graduated from a TVET institution have let's say a certain skills on his hand, but he cannot continually rely on the skill because there's what we call a decay, in the usefulness of your skill, because industry change, and you must change in tandem of what the economy, has. So in Singapore, for example, we place more and more attention to lifelong learning, and we say that you cannot front load education up to a point of graduation and expect the person to be employable through his whole work life. A typical person might face 7 career changes in his or her lifetime nowadays. In my generation or before me, you can be in a particular profession and stay in a profession, all your life. But in today's context, even, in the profession that you are in, there will be multiple changes in the industry, and you must keep up with these changes. So in Singapore, what we do is that we try to move away from just front-loading our education, but to fund continuous learning or lifelong learning. And there are schemes, to help workers, employees, and even employers to embark on this lifelong learning process. And I think it's critical if you want to look at, countrywide. There must be a system to, encourage, even employers, employees to embark on this mindset that you need to continuously learn to be updated for industry.
Thank you, Bruce. So actually, skilling means skilling, reskilling, and upskilling. These 3 elements are essential part of any skilling process. So can we have that question, please?
Yes, sir. I am Manas Ranjan Satpathy from Bargada district. Anita madam was addressing in her speech that software and hardware are very much essential for skilled people. I think this should be emphasized from grassroots level, and such curriculums like in basic engineering and coding, this should be included from high school stage.
No, it's not clear. Can you please come out again?
Yes, sir. Curriculums like basic engineering and coding classes should be included from upper primary and high school stage, so that they will get scope to read further electronics and such.
I'm sorry, the question is not very clear. So off the dais, we can take that question. Thank you. So I think with that, and with permission of Principal Secretary and Chairman OSDA, I would like to once again thank all my co-panelists. I would also like to thank Honorable Chairperson of Odisha Skill Development Authority and Principal Secretary of Skill Development and Technical Education Department for giving this opportunity to all of us to be on the dais today and be a part of this beautiful beautifully organized Odisha Skill Conclave. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Would request our panelists and our moderator to stay with us on the stage for a couple of more moments. There'll be an exchange of a memorandum of understanding between Mark Isemi India Private Limited, Bhubaneswar, Orissa, and Veer Surendra Sai University of Technology, VSSUT, Burla, Orissa, for Center of Research for IC Design. I would request representatives of both the organizations to kindly come on stage for the exchange. Can we have a very big round of applause and welcome this new friendship between the two organizations, which is going to reap a large number of benefits for everyone. Thank you very much. And now, the first panel discussion of the day on the topic of making India the skill capital of the world has come to an end. Thank you very much to all our panelists and our moderator. We would like to present a token of appreciation and felicitate all our panelists. I would request our moderator, Sri Sanjay Kumar Singh, sir, to kindly felicitate our panelist, Dr. Sunjay Rajaji, CEO, Director, International Center for Culinary Arts, ICCA, Dubai. I would request sir to kindly felicitate Mr. Anurag Srivastava, Lead India and South Asia Corporate Affairs, Cisco. Would request sir to kindly felicitate Mr. Bruce Poe, CEO, ITE Education Services, Singapore. Would request now sir to please felicitate Ms. Anita Rajan, Chief Executive Officer and Vice President, Tata Strive and Tata Community Initiatives Trust. I would request Sri Singh to kindly felicitate Dr. Suresh Kumar Madhusudanan, Chairman and Managing Director, Seagull Group of Companies. And with that, I would now humbly like to invite on to the stage Shri Subrato Bagchi, Chairman, Orissa Skill Development Authority, Government of Orissa. Can we have a huge round of applause for Shri Bagchi? And I would also like to humbly invite Srimati Usha Padi, Madam IAS, Principal Secretary, Skill Development and Technical Education, Government of Orissa. ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଅନୁରୋଧ କରିବି ଗୋଟେ ଜୋରଦାର ତାଳି ଦେଇକି ଆମ dignitaries को ମଞ୍ଚକୁ ସ୍ୱାଗତ କରିବେ. I would request Shri Bagchi and Srimati Padi to kindly felicitate a moderator for the session, Shri Sanjay Kumar Singh, IAS, Principal Secretary, Rural Development Department, Government of Orissa. So indeed, this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime moment with such eminent personalities together on a single platform. Thank you once again to all our speakers, all our panelists, and our moderator for this session. Thank you very much to our dignitaries. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this concludes the first session of our day 2 here at Orissa Skill Conclave 2023. We are now getting ready to begin the second session. The second session of the day is going to be on narrowing the gender gap and empowering women through skills. ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଅନୁରୋଧ କରିବି ଯେଉଁମାନେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଯାଏଁ ବସି ନାହାନ୍ତି ଦୟାକରି ଆସନ ଗ୍ରହଣ କରିନେବେ ଏହି ସେସନଟା ବି ବହୁତ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟିଂ ହେବାକୁ ଯାଉଛି ବହୁତ ଇନଫର୍ମେଟିଭ୍ ହେବାକୁ ଯାଉଛି and particularly for the women in business it's going to be extremely enlightening. Well, all of us know that gender equality is a key principle of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals. However, 2/3 of the non-literate adults around the world are women, and this has not changed since 2000. The economic impact of achieving gender equality in India is estimated to be $700 billion of added GDP by 2025. That is a humongous figure. It is estimated that if women have an equal opportunity, that itself will create 4 to 7% uptick in the GDP growth. With the prestigious and promising Mission Shakti being rolled out by the government of Orissa, the focus on empowering women and providing them with safe learning and development opportunities is being ensured. Well, in these 3 days of the first edition of Orissa Skill Conclave, amar eya hi chesta rahichi जे ओडिशार केवल नुह भारतर प्रत्येक युवक को आम एमतिया गोटे प्लाटफर्म जोगे देबू जो से निजक सशक्त कराई पारे एंड इन रिटर्न द एंटायर स्टेट नेशन एंड द वर्ल्ड विल ग्रो. दिस इज द सेकेंड डे ऑफ ओडिशा स्किल कॉन्क्लेव 2023. प्रथम दिन में आम कौन कौन करूँ केमी रही प्रथम दिन अधिवेशन ताकू नहीं कि गोटे छोटिया वीडियो प्रस्तुत होती. आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट एवरीबडी टू प्लीज पे अटेंशन ऑन द स्क्रीन. वी आर गोइंग टू शोकेस नाउ how was the day 1 of Orissa.
Time has come when people ask, are you skilled or are you skilled in Orissa? The brand skilled in Orissa is now ready to shine across the
सो ये थिला गोटे छोटिया झलक ओडिशा स्किल कॉन्क्लेव 2023 प्रथम दिन केमिति रहिला आपण माने आज अछंती द्वितीय दिन रे द फर्स्ट सेशन ऑफ द डे हैज बीन कंक्लूडेड जोटार थीम रहिथिला कि मेकिंग इंडिया द स्किल कैपिटल ऑफ द वर्ल्ड विश्व रे भारत को स्किल कैपिटल भाबरे केमिति भाबरे तैयारी करा जाई परिबो से कथा को नहीं कि आम गहना रे अनेक eminent speakers rahile se tanko shared views share kale. Now we are heading towards the second session of the day. I would request all our participants to kindly settle down because this session is going to be extremely enriching. This session jota ki khas kariki focused rahichi mahila mananko pai empowering women through skills. I would once again humbly request everybody to kindly take their seats. Well, it is a privilege and a great time to be a part of this glorious state, Orissa. It is our mission and vision of our Honorable Chief Minister to make women empowered, to make women rich enough so that they can not only contribute in making a family but also the society and as a whole making the economy bloom. Keeping up with that, आपण समस्ते बहुत भलरे जानिछंती एटा आम माननीय मुख्यमंत्री उद्यम मिशन शक्ति माध्यम ओडिशार माँ मौसी मानू सेमती सशक्त करेंगे आज जिते स्किल विषय कथा हो स्किल्स डेवलपमेंट विषय कथा होती. सो हियर आर सम फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स जोटा कि मैं ऑलरेडी पूर्व कही सारी. द इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट जदि जेंडर इक्वालिटी अचीव करा जाउची भारत रे 2025 भितर $700 billion contribute हबो टू आवर एक्जिस्टिंग GDP. That is a huge number आम देश को प्रगतिशील देश बनैबा पाई. It is estimated that if women have an equal opportunity, that itself will create 4 to 7% uptick in the GDP growth. 4 ରୁ 7% बढ़िबो हमर gross domestic product उपरे. With the prestigious and promising Mission Shakti being rolled out by the government of Orissa, एमिति गोटे अभियान जोटा विषय आम राज्य नुह समग्र देश रे लोक देखुचंती कथा होचंती. अनेक महिला माने एही मिशन माध्यम रे शक्तिवान हेचंती सशक्त हेचंती. द फोकस ऑन एम्पावरिंग women and providing them with safe learning and develop opportunities is being ensured. एबे जो सेशन रहिबो जार थीम रही narrowing the gender gap, empowering women through skills, will focus on how young girls of the state can be supported through learning pathways, employability enhancement initiatives, and sustainable livelihoods. So to all the girls, to all the young girls here, I would really request them कि एकदम 100% attention दे कि सुनंतु आपण मानको पई खास किछि बहुत ही सिखिबा पई जानिबा पई आपण को प्रस्तुत करिबा पई इनवा वर्ल्ड पई ए सेशन रहुची. समस्ते पुणी थरे आसन ग्रहण करिनेबे. आजिर दिनर द्वितीय सेशन दैट इज द नारोइंग द जेंडर गैप एम्पावरिंग women थ्रू स्किल्स वर्तमान किछि समय रे आरंभ होबाकु जाउची. धन्यवाद.
ओडिशा एक कृषि प्रधान राज्य. राज्य में प्राय 70% लोक कृषि उपर निर्भर करिथांती. राज्यर समुदाय उत्पादर 26% कृषि क्षेत्र ही आसी थाए. राज्य में कृषि क्षेत्र में प्रजुक्ति को जोड़ी अधिक अधिक निजुक्ति सृष्टि करने उद्देश्य आम प्रिय मुख्यमंत्री नवीन पट्टनायक दिग्दर्शन में राज्य दक्षता विकास प्राधिकरण बा OSDA 18 ରୁ 35 वर्षर योग्य युवती युवक मानक कृषि क्षेत्र में कुशली कराइबा पाई जोगाई देउछंती 3 ରୁ 12 मास पर्यंत मागणारे तालीम. OSDA उन्नत मानर कृषि कौशल संबंध में तालीम देवा व्यतीत समयर सठिक विनियोग कृषक मानक किपरि एकजुट करी सेमानक कृषि भित्तिक समस्यार सठिक समाधान करा जाई परिबो और कृषि क्षेत्र पर अनुकूल परिवेश सृष्टि करिबा परि विभिन्न दिग उपरे मध्य प्रशिक्षण जोगाई देउछंती. एथि सहित कंप्यूटर विषय रे मौलिक शिक्षा मध्य प्रदान करा जाउछि.
ग्रेजुएशन कलापर बेकारी भाव में बुलूँ किसी रोजगार नाला बहुत मानसिक चिंतार थी पर जानवा पाइली कि राज्य सरकार दक्षता विकास योजना रे एनिमल हेल्थ वर्कर गोटे कार्य चली मागणार अच्छी एथिरे मु आसी एडमिशन नेली एनिमल हेल्थ वर्कर विषय बहुत सारा ट्रेनिंग जानिली एनिमल चिकित्सा विषय जानिली फास्ट जानिली तापर गाई मानक आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन जानिली प्राणी चिकित्सा विषय बहुत भल भाव बुझिली जानिली तापर गाई गोरु छेली मेढ़ा ये सब कुकुड़ा एम चिकित्सा विषय जानिली जानला सब ट्रेनिंग नेली 45-43 दिन ट्रेनिंग थिला ए ट्रेनिंग रे मागଣା रहिबा खाइबा सब व्यवस्था थिला बहुत बढ़िया उत्तम भाव ट्रेनिंग नेली ट्रेनिंग नेला परे परीक्षा दे से कृतकार्य हो मोर निज अंचल को फेरिली निज अंचल फेरला परे निज सोसाइटी रे रहीकि आमर प्राणी मान चिकित्सा कली हाँ तापर गाई गोरु छेली मेढ़ा मान चिकित्सा भल भाव कलापर निजे किसी आर्थिक रोजगार करी पशु मान चिकित्सा करी सेवा करी निश्चिंत भाव में मु निजर आर्थिक परिस्थिति को बदल पाली ए मो परिवार और मो निजर गुजरान मेंटे पार्टी और बहुत धन्यवाद ओडिशा सरकार को यही स्किल ट्रेनिंग दे दिवार।
ओएसडीए केवल तालीम प्रदान करेनि बरं तालीम परे किभଳି युवती युवक माने नियुक्ति पाई परिबे सेथिप्रति बेस जत्नवान। महिंद्रा, ब्रिटानिया, एस्कर्ट, कारगिल, आईटीसी, इमामी, रुचि, आईएफडी, केभेन्स्टर परि देशर आगधाड़ीर बृहत संस्थागुड़िक सहित अनुबंधित होइछि ओएसडीए। निज अंचल रे छोट बड़ कृषि फार्म करी अत्याधुनिक कौशल को आपणे चाष करी निर्भरशील हेबा सह अन्य माननको नियुक्ति प्रदान करि परिबे।
ओएसडीए तरफरु जहा कि माछर तथा आपणकर धानुआ फिंगरलिंग इयरलिंग केमती प्रोडक्शन होउची तापरे माछ केमती ब्रॉड पॉन्ड रे ग्राउंड पड़ुची तापर एठु केमती माछ सप्लाई होउची ऐसे विषय मु जाने का पाइली माछ कोन डिजीज होउची से विषय को किसी शिक्षा पाइली। ओएसडीए तरफरु सर्टिफिकेट पाइला परे आज्ञा गोटे माछ मेडिसिन एवं दाना कंपनी रे रहिली एबे भी मते करूची एवं भल सैलरी इनकम करूची जहा कि मंथली मोर सैलरी पाखापाखि 35 ରୁ 40 हजार टका इनकम होउची आम फैमिली भी बहुत भल चलुचन। मु अशेष अशेष धन्यवाद देवी ओएसडीए को जे कि आमको आज एते सफलतार हाथ बढ़ाइथिले एवं तांको जोगो आज आम फैमिली आम परिवार आम ओडिशा एते उन्नत मानरे आगो अग्रगति करूची।
निज अंचल रे कृषि संप्रसारण सेवा जोगाइबा सहित कृषि क्षेत्र अधिकारी गाड़े और विभिन्न शैली रे माछ चाष परि कार्य को आपणे स्वावलंबी होई परिबे। प्रिय मुख्यमंत्री श्रीयुक्त नवीन पट्टनायक दिग्दर्शन रे एही दूरदृष्टि संपन्न प्रयास राज्य रे युवक युवती माननक पई नियुक्ति सुजोग आनिबा सहित राज्य विकास रे एक माइल खुंट हेबो। हसिब युवशक्ति, हसिब ओडिशा, सगर्वे कहिब स्किल्ड इन ओडिशा। आवेदन करने खूब सहज। स्किल्ड ओडिशार वेबसाइट परिदर्शन करंतु किंबा जिला नियुक्ति कार्यालय निकटस्थ तालीम केन्द्र सह जोगाजोग करंतु।
ओएसडीए यारू जानिबा को पाइली जे ठीक ट्रेनिंग दिया जाउछि। मु इलेक्ट्रिकल ट्रेड रे सी ट्रेनिंग नउथिली 3 मास ट्रेनिंग नेला परे मु भुवनेश्वर स्क्रिप्ट प्रोजेक्ट रे काम करथिली। 5 वर्ष पाखापाखि काम करिया भितरे मते ट्रेनर हिसाब रे अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलथिला तापरे मु एठी ट्रेनर हिसाब रे ट्रेनिंग देवा पई एठू आसीथिली।
विजन टेक्नीशियन कोर्स रे जॉइन हेली 1 मंथ रो कोर्स कंप्लीट कली एवं एलवी प्रसाद आई इंस्टीट्यूट रे विजन टेक्नीशियन भाव में जॉब भी पाइली।
1 मंथ रो ट्रेनिंग पीरियड रे हम मानको बहुत किसी शिखा गला जेमती कि विजन नबा आखिर प्रेशर चेक करवा चश्मा केमती प्रेस्क्राइब करवा बहुत किसी आमको शिखाइले आउ मु बहुत खुशी कि एलबीपीआई रे जॉब पाई कि
घर परिवार को साहाय्य कर पारछि एवं निज गोड़े छिड़ा हो पारछि। गवर्नमेंट ऑफ ओडिशा एवं ओएसडीए को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जनाऊँ।
करूनथिली घरे बसथिली जानिबा को पाइली कि गोटे ट्रेनिंग सेंटर अछि साही रे गवर्नमेंट तरफ रु फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट रे ट्रेनिंग दिया जाउची। 2 मास ट्रेनिंग नै सरला परे साही फैक्ट्री को आसिली जॉब कली तबे घरे मागुथिले एबे मु घरे को हेल्प करि पारुची मो सान भौणी को पाठ पढाई पारुची असिस्टेंट सुपरवाइजर हेची ठिया हेची मते 9000 सैलरी मिलुची।
भुवनानंद ओडिशा स्कूल ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग रे जॉइन हेली और इलेक्ट्रिकल ब्रांच रे पाठ्यक्रम स्टार्ट कली।
ओडिशा स्किल डेवलपमेंट थ्रो रे आमे बहुत किछि जिंस शिखिबा पाइछु, बहुत किछि प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज भी शिखिछु।
एई शेष वर्ष रे आस्तिबा कैंपस सिलेक्शन ले मते जिंदल स्टील तरफ जाजपुर रे जॉब मिली जो कि वार्षिक मत 2.4 लाख पैकेज रही अच्छी।
कंपनी गडसिम रे मोर कैंपस हो जाइछि। माननीय मुख्यमंत्री श्रीजुक्त नवीन पट्टनायक को धन्यवाद देवाक चाहूँगी, कारण तांका पई पाठ न सरीबा आगु आम हाथ में जॉब रही जाउछि, जहाँद्वारा कि आम खुशी हेबा सहित आम परिवार भी समस्ते खुशी अछंती।
मु आज ए 3 वर्ष मध्य अनस्किल स्किल हो पार्छि। एही सब पई हमर माननीय मुख्यमंत्री नवीन पट्टनायक और ओएसडीए को धन्यवाद देउछि।
ओडिशा सरकार तरफ सीसीटी किसी ट्रेनिंग दिखाई जटनी रे 3 मंथ ट्रेनिंग मिली। तार शिखा पाइली केमती कॉफी बनाती, केमती सर्विसिंग करती। मुझे 10,500 सैलरी पाऊँगी, तो निज गोटे मुझे छिड़ा घर हेल्प कर पारुची, तो निजर खर्च भी मुझे मेंटेन कर पारुची, तो से खुशी अछि। धन्यवाद देवी ओडिशा सरकार नवीन सर को आ ओएसडीएम।
I would humbly request everyone to kindly settle down. The second session of the day is about to commence now. The session on narrowing the gender gap, empowering women through skills. समस्तों को अनुरोध, सभी से अनुरोध है कृपया अपना आसन ग्रहण कर लें। समस्तों को अनुरोध करुछि दयाकरी आसन ग्रहण करनियंतु। आज दिनर द्वितीय सेशन वर्तमान आरंभ होबाकु जाउछि। सेशन रहिछि जेंडर गैप को केमती कम करि हबो एवं महिला को केमती एम्पावर करी हबो स्किल सेट माध्यम रे। आज दिन में आउ दुईटी सेशन रहिबो, ता विषय भी आपन को टिके जणे रखिबा को चाहिबो। The third session for the day will be about linking apprenticeship and internship to skilling for the new world. एवं चतुर्थ सेशन भी बहुत खास, कारण चतुर्थ सेशन रहिबो इंक्लूसिविटी उपरे, स्किलिंग बियॉन्ड शैकल्स, inclusivity in skilling. So the entire day is going to be extremely enriching. We would humbly request everybody to kindly take their seats. समय कम अच्छी, अनेक कथा अच्छी, अनेक आइडियाज शेयर करार अच्छी, डिस्कशंस आपण भी शुणिबू, but we really would like to request everybody to please be seated. केते जण स्टूडेंट्स बसी चंती, टिके हाथ ऊपर को करिके मते देखेबे कि स्टूडेंट्स, ओनली स्टूडेंट्स एपटे। यस, ऑलराइट। काली आज भितरे अनेक कथा हेले, काली सुंदर एंटरटेनमेंट प्रोग्राम मध्य थिला, आज भी हबो। जदि भल लागुची आपण माने किछि नुआ सिखुचंती, ए इनिशिएटिव जोटा हम माननीय मुख्यमंत्री आपण मानको पई नै छंती ओडिशा स्किल कॉन्क्लेव माध्यम रे, जदि आपण को एथरु किछि लाभ मिली ए पर्यंत गोटे जोरदार ताली माध्यम रे मते जणैबे कि यस इंडीड आपण मानक पई ही ए कॉन्क्लेव एवं आपण माने जदि सेथरु किछि वैल्यू एडिशन होउची, देन द एंटायर इनिशिएटिव हैज बिकम अ सक्सेस। एटा हमें भाबिबु। अनुरोध करी पुणी थरे कि आपण माने निज निज फ्रेंड्स मानू को कि आपणकर संगे जे अछंती बंधु मानू को अनुरोध करेंगे कि आसिक बसी जिबे। आज द्वितीय सेशन वर्तमान आरंभ होबाकु जाउछि एवं जेतिकी झियो माने एठी अछंती स्किल डेवलपमेंट एवं विभिन्न विभिन्न क्षेत्र एठी बसी छंती, तांको पई ए सेशन खास करी बहुत ही ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट रहिबो। बहुत किछि नुआ जिनस शिखिबे, तो समस्ते दयाकरी जेते जल्दी हबो आसन ग्रहण करि नियंतु एवं आज द्वितीय सेशन किछि समय रे आरंभ होबो। धन्यवाद। पुणी थरे अनुरोध करी समस्त को आसन ग्रहण करें। आज दिन द्वितीय सेशन द्वितीय पैनल डिस्कशन वर्तमान आरंभ होगा जाऊँगी। स्किल डेवलपमेंट राइट नाउ एबेका कथा नहीं आपण समस्ते काली भेटी थे एमती किसी व्यक्तित्व को जो माने स्किल डेवलपमेंट रे वर्तमान ओडिशा को अंतर्जातीय स्तर रे रिप्रेजेंट करूछंती। इट्स नाउ टाइम टू वेलकम आवर डिग्निटरीज फॉर द सेकंड पैनल डिस्कशन. I would request everybody to give a very big round of applause and welcome our moderator for the session, Srimati Sujata R. Karthikeyan, IAS, Commissioner cum Secretary, Department of Mission Shakti, Government of Orissa. गोटे जोरदार ताड़ी होबा दरकार, शब्द आसु नाही. As our speaker for the session, we have Miss Sangeeta Jindal, Chairperson, JSW Foundation. A very good morning, madam, and a very warm welcome. We have, as the panelist, Ms. Sohini Sinha, Head Learning, Leadership Development and Talent Management, Tata Electronics. We have Professor Niharika Vohra, Professor, IIM Ahmedabad. Mrs. Guha Poonam Tapas Kumar, IAS, Chief Executive Officer, ORMUS. Dr. Monica Agarwal, Dean Faculty of Design, MGM University. Ms. Poonam Mahapatra, Chairperson, Bhubaneswar Chapter, FICCI Ladies Organization. I welcome our panelists, I welcome our special speaker and our moderator. I would request Srimati Karthikeyan Madam to kindly give their welcome remarks. गोटे जोरदार ताली देकी मैडम को स्वागत करिबा.
Thank you. Samastango namaskar. Distinguished panelists, people who are sitting in the audience, I can see Mr. Shubroto Bagchi, Mr. Bruce Poe, Ms. Alka Mishra, Srimati Usha Padi, and many others, and all our children who have come from ITIs or polytechnics. Samastango namaskar. All our distinguished guests to this panel too. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting and extremely pertinent topic worldwide and especially for the government of Odisha, which is gender and skilling, gender and empowerment, gender and how we can take skills into empowerment agenda. As you all know, there are two things in this. One, every woman as a matter of her right, every girl child as a matter of right, as a human, she has an aspiration, she has a right to be empowered to reach where she wants to reach. That is as a human being, as a woman. Second is for the society, for the community, for the state and for the country. It is a loss if women are not empowered, if gender equality is not part of the governance agenda. And today our distinguished panelists will talk about this, will take you through various segments of this and what actually works. So to put it in perspective, I would request, there's a small clip on women's empowerment through skilling. I would request that that clip be played. And after that, I will take you into the government of Odisha's agenda on women's empowerment. Clip, please.
Mission Shakti,
No, not this. Not
initiated in 2001 by the Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha. Shri
I'm
Naveen
sorry,
Patnaik.
please play the overall clip on women's empowerment first.
Initiative by the government of Odisha.
So while that clip is coming on,
Having
I would like to
incorporated
introduce our
70
panelists.
lakh women into
There
its
is Ms.
fold
Sohini
across
Sinha,
villages and
who's
towns
the
of
head
Odisha.
of Tata
Mission
Electronics
Shakti
in
today
leadership
is
development.
a vibrant,
There's
transformational
Professor
force.
Niharika Vohra, who's Professor IIM Ahmedabad.
The aim
There's
now
Mrs.
is to grow
Guha
from
Poonam Tapas,
SHG to
who's Chief
SME,
Executive Officer
unique
of
learning
ORMAS, the
promotion,
Orissa Rural Marketing
skilling,
Society.
institution building,
There's Monica Agarwal, who's the Dean, Faculty of Design, and there's Poonam Mahapatra, who's the Chairperson of FICCI Ladies Association. I would again request kindly play the clip on women and skilling. Please stop this clip.
Across the state.
I'd request our team there. Yeah. जोटा स्किल डिपार्टमेंट रो क्लिप अछि सेटा को काइंडली प्ले करंतु स्किल डिपार्टमेंट रो क्लिप रघु कैन यू प्लीज कोऑर्डिनेट रघु your clip can you kindly play your clip. Yeah, these are our esteemed panelists. Now I would again request to kindly play the skill department clip. So as to put this whole thing in perspective. Yeah, thank you.
Gender equality is a key principle of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals. However, as of now, 2/3 of non-literate adults around the world are women. This has not changed since 2000. Achieving gender equality is likely to have a massive impact on global as well as India's growth. Empowering women will bring smile in the family, society, and could boost our economy with $700 billion of added GDP by 2025. Another estimate suggests just providing equal opportunity to women will create 4 to 7% uptick in India's GDP growth. In Odisha, we are committed to provide our women with safe learning ecosystems and seamless development opportunities. By rolling out the prestigious and promising mission Shakti, Odisha's visionary leadership has shifted the focus on empowering women. Odisha, fast emerging as the skills capital of India, has been a front-runner in empowering the diversity by encouraging the girl child through schemes like Shuraksha. Skilled in Odisha, a global brand of repute, is working cohesively towards breaking the gender stereotypes. In this session, we focus on how young girls of the state can be supported to the next level through advanced learning pathways, employability enhancement initiatives, and sustainable livelihoods. For now, let's get our grey cells to work to find better ways and means of empowering women through building their skills and enhancing their employability.
Odisha Skill Conclave 2023.
Thank you. A big round of applause for the efforts that the skill department headed by Honorable Chief Minister is taking for skilling of women. Now as I stand here and I represent Mission Shakti, I have to speak a bit about Mission Shakti and the government's initiative. So I'll just take 2 minutes. How is Mission Shakti different? A lot of programs across the world and across the country have taken the SHG route to empowerment of women. Mission Shakti kainki different. I stand here saying that it is different because one is our government is headed by Honorable Chief Minister Shri Naveen Patnaik, who continuously believes that women's empowerment is not a slogan. It is a living code. It is a governance ethics that is non-negotiable. In private sector terms, women's empowerment is a key vertical for the government of Odisha, a non-negotiable vertical. And that is why Odisha is perhaps the only state that has an exclusive department of Mission Shakti. It's not there in any other state of the country where we have a separate budget, separate resources meant for self-help groups. The second reason why it's different is the cabinet in its first meeting has undertaken that 5,000 crores worth of goods and services of government will be procured only from Mission Shakti SHGs. So today, 1 lakh self-help groups are involved in paddy procurement, electricity meter reading, in take-home ration for small kids in Anganwadi centers, in managing eco-tourist resorts, in doing various non-stereotypical activities for government. And there are 22 departments involved in this. This not only gives income to women, but also makes them crucial partners in the governance of Odisha. And this is where we stand out. Women are a very big link between government and society. So when you take COVID, jatore COVID hela, who were our foot soldiers who went from house to house explaining to people what is COVID and what are the do's and don'ts? It was the SHG women of Odisha. When natural disasters strike, who are the people who are going from house to house, vacating pregnant women along with the health department and the district administration? It is our women who run community kitchens and make sure that everybody is fed. And this is not done as per government diktat. They are natural leaders of the community. So this is again how it is different. In the government manifesto, it is there that there should be a state-level federation exclusively to advise all the government departments on what to do on women's empowerment. This is again something very unique about the state of Odisha. And last, I would mention Mission Shakti is not only about earning incomes. Incomes is very small part of the Mission Shakti Empowerment Initiative. It is about the identity of a woman. It is about the voice of a woman. It is about women coming out from the kitchens and claiming their space in public life. So today when you see in local body elections in Odisha, though there is reservation of 50% for women, 70% to 80% seats in some places have gone to women who have come on their own as leaders of the community. And in that, Mission Shakti has played a big role. So now I would request our team to kindly play the clip on Mission Shakti, which would encompass all these things what I have just said and give a small glimpse of this. Mission Shakti clip, please.
Mission Shakti, initiated in 2001 by the Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Naveen Patnaik, is a flagship women's empowerment initiative by the government of Odisha. Having incorporated 70 lakh women into its fold across villages and towns of Odisha, Mission Shakti today is a vibrant, transformational force. The aim now is to grow from SHG to SME. Unique livelihood promotion, skilling, institution building, financial inclusion and market linkage initiatives of Mission Shakti strive towards graduating SHGs to small and micro enterprises, generating employment, increasing income and transforming the lives of millions across the state. Government of Odisha has set up a dedicated department of Mission Shakti for the empowerment of SHGs, the first in the country. The department has collaborated with World Skills Center to curate exclusive courses on beauty and wellness, fashion design, bakery, housekeeping, and many other trades for sustainable incomes. 100 Mission Shakti cafes across the state are being run successfully by women collectives today. In a pioneering step, Government of Odisha grants interest subvention benefits up to 5 lakh loans for all SHGs. In past years, more than 3,50,000 SHGs have availed this benefit, and 505 crore rupees has been deposited into the accounts of women as interest subvention. 50,000 crore rupees bank linkage to SHGs is projected in the next 5 years. Government of Odisha, through Mission Shakti, is supporting the establishment of a robust retail distribution network across the state under the brand name Mission Shakti Bazaar. The state government has made a historic decision of setting up 500 Mission Shakti Bazaars across the state in the next 5 years. To leverage the power of e-commerce and digital marketing, an exclusive e-commerce platform has been established for women producers of Mission Shakti. Not only are millions of women gaining fruitful employment and economic independence through Mission Shakti, they are also partners in the transformation of New Odisha.
So a big round of applause to the 70 lakh Mission Shakti family members. I take this opportunity now to welcome Srimati Jindal on dais, and Madam has a keen interest on skilling of girls and women, on women's empowerment in a holistic mode. She has a keen interest in sports promotion in Odisha, and they have a wonderful partnership with the sports department, and they are running the HPC in swimming and also in handicrafts, handlooms. So we would keenly like to hear from you, Madam. And Srimati Jindal is our chief speaker for today for this extremely important topic. I'd like to invite you on stage for your lecture, please.
Dear Mrs. Karthikeyan, Mrs. Subrata Bagchi, Ms. Usha Padi, thank you for inviting me here to Odisha Skill Conclave 2023. What we saw in that film, it is demolishing patriarchal structures, especially in what has been traditionally a male-dominated industry, mining, that is moving bits of the earth literally and metaphorically. These wonderful colleagues of ours are stirring up a quiet revolution by learning new skills, breaking new ground, and creating spaces for women's rights and livelihood security. That is what Adyashri, Monica, Savita, Shikha, Tanushri, Preeti, Rukshat, Tikina, Pramila, Renuka and Junu have done. They are doing it with courage, with dignity and with so many panache. As Serena Williams once said, every woman's success should be an inspiration to others. We are strongest when we cheer each other on, and that is most evident in the Joda-Koida mining region, where our women employees are not only taking control of their life, but they are training more women to do the same. I must stop here to congratulate Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik ji for doing this wonderful initiative. This is what puts our country on the map. Our koshish, our kaushal and our kashish. I used to meet Mr. Bagchi before he joined Odisha. His dream was to do something big for our country. I have always emulated his ideas, and here I am, and I want to help, JSW wants to help as many, for more women in our country. When I look around me, I think about the future, and I think of the word mumkin, because here exists many possibilities and potential that we are trying to release in Odisha as a part of our work. We aim to train thousands of women to acquire skills to enter areas such as hardcore mining, port handling, and construction roles, which were earlier reserved for men only. Sarah Blakely, who became the world's youngest self-made female billionaire, said something that I truly resonate. When you help a woman fulfill her potential, magic happens. We have tried building this magic at JSW Foundation. 30,000 young women and children are benefiting from India's first and largest skill impact bond we run in collaboration with national and international organizations. More than 4,000 women in rural areas are gaining economic independence and contributing to nation building by being part of women-centric BPO centers as a part of our JSW Shakti BPO initiative in Bellary, Karnataka. I would urge Mrs. Karthikeyan to work with us for a BPO in Odisha for women. This is a unique 21st century initiative that leverages a sustainable social enterprise model. We are enhancing skills, creating economic pathways, and building resilient futures that are being led by women. And this magic of women empowerment is spreading from Odisha to Rajasthan to Karnataka to Himachal Pradesh and Maharashtra. Here's to magic. Here's to every woman in the driving seat. Here's to Odisha and to all the potential here and the simplicity of Mumkin Hai. This is the first time that I've come for this wonderful conference. I felt very happy to see what you all are doing. Unfortunately, we living in Maharashtra, we know of the work that you do, but when I see this, I realize the potential that you all have done. Thank you for being a part of all this. We would also, weaving, craft, embroidery, we are working with in many other organizations in our country. There is this school in Maharashtra, in Bombay called the Chanakya School. So all the slum ladies who live in the slums go to this school, and the embroidery that they do has been exported to Christian Dior. So our aim is that the sky is the limit. If we women all work together, and even men too, if we all work together, we can change the whole ecosystem. We being in JSW, I'm a new entry here in Odisha. I know JSW is doing substantial work as far as the business goes. As a JSW Foundation person, there is lots that we have to do. And if we can all work together, we can make the country even better. Thank you for allowing me to come here. And with Mr. Subroto here, I'm sorry I shouldn't say Subroto, I should say Mr. Bagchi here. I have always emulated your work. And thank you for giving me this opportunity here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. That was wonderful. Now we'll have a small felicitation ceremony of some power women. And you can see they are the epitome of the magic that happens when intent and effort comes together in women's empowerment. So.
Yes, madam. I'll be welcoming now on stage 11 iron girls who completed their education from Barbel ITI and now have been breaking the gender bias thing that लड़कियां ये कर सकती हैं, ये नहीं कर सकती हैं. They are into heavy machinery driving. Let us welcome Adyashri Nayak, Monica Devi, Savita Laguri, Shikha Patra, Tanushri Patra, Preeti Manjari, Ruksat Khatun, Tikina Nayak, Pramila Nayak, Renuka Patra and Jhunu Nayak. So just for an information, these 11 girls are the iron girls from Barbel ITI who are now placed, who will be working in various capacities from driving heavy earth machineries to what not. समस्त को अनुरोध करी 11 जन झील जो माने पुओ जोटा करि परिबे झील भी सेटा करि परिबे एई कथा को पुणी थरे सत करिसंती तांको कर्म तांको इच्छा तांको दृढ़ विश्वास माध्यम रे मेनी मेनी कंग्रेचुलेशंस टू देम. Indeed. करतालीर ध्वनि आहरी प्रबल हवा कथा कारण यही 11 जन झील प्रेसिडेंट सेट करुचंती जेते जन झील ऑडियंस रे बसिचंती तांको पई एग्जांपल प्रेरणार उत्स यांकु देखिकी आपण माने भी प्रतिश्रुतिबद्ध हेई परिबे जे किछि भी आपण करि परिबे. थैंक यू वेरी मच वंस अगेन मेनी मेनी कंग्रेचुलेशंस. Before we begin the panel discussion, I would request our moderator, Srimati Sujata R. Karthikeyan Madam, to kindly felicitate Ms. Sangeeta Jindal, Chairperson, JSW Foundation. ए सम्मान संवर्धना केवल जे आम पटर नुह आपण समस्त पटर करताली माध्यम जुड़ंतु. धन्यवाद जणैबा. थैंक यू सो मच मैडम. I would now request Madam Moderator to kindly begin.
Thank you, ma'am, for being here and inspiring all of us. And these girls were an absolute pleasure. So we'll continue the discussion further. Thank you. So now I would request Ms. Sohini Sinha, whose talent management, Tata Electronics, in learning and leadership development. I'm sure there are a lot of insights that you can give us into women and skilling, which we can use in the government too. Ms. Sohini.
Good morning. I'm really honored to be here. It's wonderful to see so many people thinking seriously about skilling, and it's particularly wonderful to be in the company of so many remarkable women. My name is Sohini Sinha. I'm a part of a new organization called Tata Electronics. We're just 2.5 years old. We're setting up massive greenfield manufacturing projects, and we're in the space of manufacturing components and semiconductors. So that's what we do. In the perspective that I'd like to share, there are two things that I wanted to bring into this conversation today. Firstly, I wanted to share a little bit about how we are looking at women and skilling from a manufacturing angle. I'd like to share a little bit about our context, some of the challenges and some of the change that is required today. And very briefly, I'll talk a little bit about our own experiments and our experiences at Tata Electronics. So with that, let me begin. So the context of the manufacturing sector is that today it contributes to about 16-17% of the economy. And women probably constitute 12% or less of this sector. And this is a sector that's poised for growth. It could be as large as 25% in a couple of years. So this is the kind of sector that cannot grow unless there are more women to help the sector grow. Interestingly, globally, the representation of women is as high as 30%. So we really have a long way to go in India. Another interesting thing that I'm observing here is that there are many new emerging sectors. There are sunrise sectors. We heard a little bit about the questions this morning related to some of these sunrise sectors. There are many new manufacturing units that are coming up around sustainable energy, around electrical vehicles, around batteries, semiconductors, and so on. So really this is, in a way, there are many sunrise elements in this sector today. And I think the most interesting part is how this industry is evolving with the advent of Industry 4.0 and 5.0, and how it is fundamentally changing the nature of this industry. In a nutshell, the context is that manufacturing is poised for women to enter. So the time is right. Though the time is right, the challenges are many. First of all, this is a sector which is viewed as a predominantly male-dominated sector. It is seen as a sector which requires a lot of hard physical labor, unsafe working conditions, sometimes involves traveling to remote locations. It isn't really traditionally seen as a woman's domain. So the reality also is that the infrastructure, in many cases, doesn't really today support too many women. It is work in remote locations, of course. There's a need for safety. There's a need for a lot of infrastructure for women to come and work in the sector. Young women and the people who advise them about their careers don't naturally see the sector as a career of choice. And we don't see enough women in the appropriate fields of study. Whilst the number of engineering graduates in the country may be as much as 30% or more, the people who come into the core engineering fields or the relevant fields in polytechnics are relatively low. So these are the challenges of having women enter the sector. The second set of challenges is around having them stay in the sector when they come. Due to life stage changes, we see a lot of women leaving a sector like this. So one report that I saw spoke about 73% of women in manufacturing leaving the sector when they experience motherhood. So there are many places where women drop off, right? Despite the small pool that we begin with. Another challenge, and I think this is a really one big piece that all of us should work on, is about visibility to career opportunities. It's about the skills that people have as this is an evolving sector. And how do we create role models and help people understand the long-term perspectives of working in a sector like this. So, and it doesn't end here unless we have the right kind of skills with the way the industry is evolving and the need for higher order cognitive skills, more analytical skills, the ability to work with automation, AI, etc. Unless we have the right set of skills, if women do repeatable lower-end jobs, they are likely to be replaced by automations eventually. So this is the context. Interestingly, I heard someone say that with all the changes that are afoot, the starting lines in terms of skills in this sector are being redrawn. Unfortunately, there are many people who are behind the starting line, though the line is getting redrawn. So that's the context. And I think what needs to be done, a lot of change is called for. We need a new mindset. We need a new narrative. We need to really understand that manufacturing is indeed a sector that works for women. We have to underscore the economic value generation of women as an element in what manufacturing can offer to the economy and the families of the women employed. Secondly, there's a lot of work to be done to make manufacturing gender accessible. We need to create a level playing field. There's a lot of need for the right kind of infrastructure. You need care infrastructure. You need safe living infrastructure. You need safety in general. You need accessibility. So there are a whole lot of things that need to be addressed. And finally, there's a lot of work to be done on building the right talent pools. Building pools of talent that are industry ready, who grow through their careers while they're in manufacturing, and who are ready for the future. So there's a lot of work to be done. So with that, I'd just quickly talk a little bit about, I'll just take another minute to talk about what we're doing at Tata Electronics. We are a very new organization. We have about 97% of our shop floor jobs being done by women. We have deliberately hired from places where there are fewer economic opportunities. We have hired young women, trained them. We've built hostels and created spaces for them to live safely as they come into these industrial jobs. We've done a lot of work around building emotional wellness and mental well-being. And there's a lot of focus around not just skilling, but an overall wellness. A couple of other things that we've done is we've invested in higher education, saying these are women who've joined us after class 12, but we've crafted customized programs like BSc in manufacturing related to the skills on the shop floor and the know-how and the science behind it. So these are some things that we are doing. Clearly, this is not an area that can be done in half measures. It is an area which will need a lot of engagement, involvement, and empathy. So with that, I hand this back over to our moderator.
Thanks, Sohini. And we'll definitely be open for for questions again. And it's a very important point that you touched, women in manufacturing. There is a gender stereotype about manufacturing not being very women sensitive. So with that, we go to the next speaker, a very distinguished professor from IIM, Professor Niharika Vohra. And I'm sure you'll have a lot of insights as you are a premier institution who are training managers for tomorrow. So I'd request you to kindly help us with your insights on this important topic. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for the invitation and thank you for putting this panel together. I think in the last 55 years of my being in this earth, I have never seen so much importance to skill. I've been in education for all my life. We've always thought of education as something that is in a premier institution or a university, but we've never given this kind of importance to skill. So I think we need to give a hand to ourselves just for the fact that we are making skill attractive and an important aspect. I also, in the last 2 years of being an academic for so many years, had the opportunity to be the founder vice chancellor for a skill university in Delhi. And that is really when I started to think about skilling really, because that's when I had to set up a university which had skill and entrepreneurship in it. And I'll cut a story short. I know we have a paucity of time. It was very apparent to me that skilling is not just blue collar. Skill is part of everything. A psychologist needs skill in counseling. A dentist needs skill. A software coder needs skills. A journalist needs skills. And the interesting part of our education is that we have somehow made higher education devoid of skills and we made skill devoid of education. And I think what I'm trying to say is that we need to put these together. Yeah. So, and because we're talking about women, even in this group, yeah, there are fewer women than men are. So women are not present in the public domain irrespective of what we are talking about. And if we want to change it, I think we have to have a focused view on it. It can't be just by the way it will happen. So we have to focus. And in that, I think as part of our experiment at DSCU, we realized that when we put all the polytechnics as part of the university, one, it helped to bring polytechnic education as higher education, as part of higher education. And in that, we had some polytechnics that were women polytechnics, women-only polytechnics. Now, in the 21st century, it might look quite awkward to say that we must have women polytechnics, women ITIs, and women colleges. I think given the milieu, the social milieu of India, I think it still makes sense to have women only, while we might have co-ed colleges as well, but women-only skilling institutions, ITIs, polytechnics, colleges, because what it does is it really gives an impetus to women to study subjects on their own. So it's not already decided men will do this, women will do this, women can do everything. The second thing is it is safer. It is safer. Parents, when we spoke to many of the parents and the girls who came to our polytechnics, they said if there wasn't a women polytechnic, they would not have been allowed to come to college. So they would have gotten married or they would have stayed at home. So I think it makes sense for us to have only women polytechnics, make them safe, have hostels so that girls from far away distance can come and study there, and also their education can be holistic. It need not be just part of it. And I think only if education is holistic, when we employ women in the factories or in service sector, they will not have a short career, but they will have a long career. Because I think the important thing is not to train somebody to be a one-time use bullet. We have to create, so, a lot of skilling programs, sorry to say, are creating a one-time use bullet. Once fired, it has no other use. I think we want to create vehicles and individuals and resources who are going to be lifelong contributing to wherever they are contributing. And I think that is why we need good education, higher education programs, along with skilling going hand in hand. And I think any change cannot happen in 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Education is a long-term game, and if we are willing to invest in it, willing to really invest in it, I think we can make a difference. The other thing I want to say, and this will be my last point, is also, if we look at the entrepreneurship domain of the country, only 20% of the women are entrepreneurs, of which more than 14 to 15%, depending on what numbers you look at, are either solopreneurs or micro-entrepreneurs. And again, some work that we have done over the years makes it very clear that a solopreneur may bring wealth to themselves, but they don't create jobs and they don't create wealth for the country. And I think, again, along with skilling education, we need to start putting in effort into making sure that women will become from solopreneurs to micropreneurs, and from micropreneurs to mediumpreneurs. And we need to help them in whichever way that is required. So whether it is marketing skills, networking skills, finance skills, digital skills, all of this will really help us to take forward. So I think there are multiple things to do, but I also like the fact that we need to shine the lens on it, and we need to make significant strategic long-term investments if we really want to make a change. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor. I just felt transported into class in college again. But for all of us, very key points again, and especially for Mission Shakti, solopreneurs create wealth for themselves. But if we want wealth creation at the society and community level, then we have to create micro and medium entrepreneurs, and that is where I think Honorable CM's message comes, SHGs to SMEs. So thank you, Professor. Now we go on to Ms. Poonam Guha, who's a dear colleague of mine, and she is heading the Orissa Rural Marketing Society, a very critical part of government's intervention in women's empowerment, in marketing. And marketing is sometimes one of the most difficult things when you talk of women as entrepreneurs. So Guha, your thoughts, please.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I'll quickly and respected dignitaries also, thank you first of all for giving me this chance. It is an honor for me to be here with all of you here. As today's discussion point stands, it is bridging the gender gap, empowering women through skills. So I would actually like to ask myself and some of us the question whether there is a gender gap. So yes, maybe there is a gender gap, and it is both negative and positive. In gender gap, one is, what is the kind of gap? One is, it is a social construct. Secondly, in respect of education, health, reproductive health, physical ability, perception, all this may be some negativity attached to the gender gap, but at the same time, if we were to turn the table to bring the positive values that a woman encompasses, to bring them on the table. This is the positive values of empathy, the positive values of partnership, care and sharing that a woman can bring on the skill table, whether it is employable skills as in to be brought through various skill development programs in placement, or it is for livelihood skills. Here, secondly, can skilling help to bridge the gender gap? I am sure pretty much that, as my predecessors have also spoken, that it can be a very important agenda for all of us to take home today, that skilling will definitely help to bridge the gender gap. Here, it is needed to identify the area of skilling, which is that particular area that requires skill development. I would like to quickly take you through two types of skills that we at ORMAS, with collaboration of Odisha Skill Development Authority and Department of Mission Shakti, have been doing. This is one, placement-based skills, and secondly, livelihood or self-employment-based skills. In placement-based skills, I am very happy to mention here that we have been able to train about 2 lakh candidates under the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana, and also placed about 1.5 lakh of them in various industries. I would also be very happy to mention here that about 51% of these are women. So congratulations to all our women for taking this big leap forward. Apart from DDU-GKY, we have also been taking up some other initiatives in the areas of plumbing and masonry, and in the days to come, we would be taking up even further skilling in the areas of women skilling, including in the areas of PWD welfare also. Coming to self-employment and livelihood skills, we have already seen 2 videos on how Mission Shakti department is empowering our women in bringing them to a bigger milieu, a bigger landscape of entrepreneurial development. Here, livelihood would encompass 2 things. One is agri-based, one is non-agri-based. Here, when I talk about agri-based livelihoods, we should actually also think about a recent term, that is farm producer organization or farmer producer organization, which itself is a new concept. But I would like to mention here that being an entity with women, it is a very important concept, and we need to actually take it forward by giving them the kind of capacity building training required in various aspects. One of the very important aspects of farm producer organization and products they give is spices, for example. And we in Odisha, as ma'am would also tell us, we are actually one of the leading powerhouses of spice, be it chili, be it turmeric, be it any other. Second point is, as in the morning all of us here and ma'am was actually telling us, you would also actually have a look at the saris that we are all wearing today, and we have actually come prepared actually because representing various corners of Odisha, some of us in Tassar, some of us in Ikat. So handloom, like terracotta or any other non-farm enterprise, is also another very, very important sector which requires skilling. In skilling, one important aspect is design development. Apart from that, we also need to focus on marketability. Marketability encompasses a number of aspects. One of them, when it comes to products like spices or products like farm produce, would be the FSSAI, the AgMark certification. When it comes to products like non-farm or like terracotta or golden grass, it includes a number of certification which will land that product in the market and sometimes even in the international market. Sabai grass of Mayurbhanj today actually has a number of buyers internationally, and it is all the women weavers, all the women and all our skilled artisans out there who have made this possible. We only have to take it a notch further from here by giving them appropriate skilling. Apart from this, there are a number of skills that we also need to focus on. One is life skills that UNICEF has always been telling us, the 10 life skills, including reasoning, including critical thinking. core trades as in DDUGKY, for example, sewing machine operator, general duty assistant, hospitality, and of course the FPO and the other base training. Third is soft skills. When we make a curriculum, it's very important for us to understand that when the student comes to the classroom, we are imparting not only core skill, but also soft skill like spoken English, like general knowledge and current awareness, and also the basic knowledge of computers. And may I also add banking literacy, which also is very important for all our women to know. It's very, very important. Then I'm very happy I read in the papers also that yesterday there have been a number of MOUs, especially in 21st century skills, that by the Skill Development Department and by the Department of Mission Shakti, and these are into artificial intelligence, into machine learning, into metaverse and data analytics. I think this is an excellent development that has taken place and we need to take it further. One point that I would mention here is the disadvantaged women. Disadvantaged from the bigger version of women. Who are these? These are, for example, women in Swadhar houses, women in Ujjwala homes, women in prisons, and women in disability. These are some specific sectors which also need to be looked at. When we design a course curriculum, we have to be very careful about designing in a way that we will be able to help them by giving them the right kind of infrastructure, by giving them the right kind of working conditions. For example, maybe for a Swadhar home, we can have a critical infrastructure aside the Swadhar home where the woman can actually be skilled outside the hours of stay in the Swadhar home. At the same time, a general skill ecosystem. I was actually just pondering about the points, ma'am. I just quickly would like to speak about this. A skill ecosystem, when we speak about, maybe some of the points that we can have in the DPRs. One is having proper mobilization camps, ma'am, where the women should be actually told about the various schemes at hand. Secondly, awareness sessions on health. Here, ma'am, I can also say SMD OLM is also here, and ma'am had given one opportunity some time back where all the Mission Shakti and our OLM and ORMA's colleagues, everybody had come together. One very nice initiative had been taken to give training on health awareness to them so that they could take it further to all our Mission Shakti SHGs down the line. So that is also something that we should actually take it further. Yes, ma'am. Then local languages, because tribal languages are something that we should actually have our awareness on. Migration support centers across states, captive employers, and here I would like to mention if local industry could also come forward and give jobs to all our women and all our candidates with good salaries in order to prevent attrition. Creches for the children of the classroom trainees, libraries and reading rooms, financial literacy camps, and here I would like to underline the role of the sector skill councils and the certification that is being done. Bakchi sir has also been telling us again and again that certification is very important, and we have seen to it that certification is there so that our candidates also land in better jobs. MOUs with good institutes, and of course reskilling and upskilling from time to time. I am sure, ma'am, and all dignitaries, thank you first of all for giving me this opportunity. I am really humbled. I think with all of us together, we will be able to take the Nua Odisha forward, and Amo Shakti will actually be Mission Shakti, and we actually have the sustainable development goals before us through the gender and the child-friendly panchayats. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ma'am, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Poonam. That was from a practitioner's perspective. Many times what we think is right may not work in the field. So Poonam, you have the difficult job of making it work in the field at the cutting edge, and more power to you. Now we move on to Dr. Monica Agarwal. And she's currently Dean Faculty of Design in MGM University, but we know her as the former director of the National Institute of Fashion Technology in Bhubaneswar, a person with huge passion in the handlooms and handicraft sector, and not just passion, but having seen her work, I would say that in this very, very important livelihood sector, she has certain key insights on how to upscale this sector to reach the national and global markets. So a very important theme for us. So I invite Dr. Monica Agarwal to give her, to place her thoughts before us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for very the appreciation about myself. I'm a very small person and I would like to see everyone grow. That is my passion. I would like to start with the thing that when I met Bagchi sir and he said that, Madam, we have to make our ITI and Polytechnic students smarter. How we can do it? So that was a challenge, and whereby we have to narrow the gender gap by dressing them equally in a same manner. So that was the first step which Bagchi sir has taken for making the ITI and Polytechnic students smarter, and they should look good and there should not be any gender gap with their looks and with their work, with the skill they develop. And we did that with their support, and that was the first step which has narrowed the gender gap by dressing equally and same. And I can see those students sitting here and dressing that and looking smarter. So about the narrowing gender gap and the inequality is because of poverty, patriarchal setup in our Indian society, lack of education and illiteracy, lack of awareness among women, social custom, belief and practices. So these are the 5 points which are creating inequality. So if we overcome all these 5 points, we'll be able to narrow the gender gap. So for which we have to have the result-oriented processes of enhancing and promoting the social, political and economic status of women. So this is the most important. And plus our sustainable goals also tells us to do the same thing. We should have a new ambitious world which commit towards achieving gender equality in the education, promotion of lifelong opportunity for everybody. Like our Prime Minister has said, Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, for G20 logo he has given that हम सब एक परिवार हैं, पूरा संसार एक परिवार है. So उसी को लेके हमें आगे बढ़ना है. So उसी से हमारे सारे gaps जो हैं वो ख़त्म हो जाते हैं कि कौन कहाँ है, कौन क्या कर रहा है, हम सब एक हैं. पहले हमें सबको इस पे सोचना है कि हम इक्वालिटी कैसे लेके आएँ. So यही हमारे sustainable goal भी हमें बताते हैं. Young people and the substantial proportion of adults, both men, women, should achieve education by 2013. That is our goal, which is saying. And we should create a lifelong opportunity for everybody. It should not be that, as my earlier eminent speakers have told, that we have skilled them and then we have left them with a certificate. Okay, fine, now it's done. You can do whatever you want to do. So it is a lifelong, continuous process. We have to keep them upskilling, reskilling, and the continuous process has to be there. All the learning activities should be planned, it should be designed, it should be implemented, monitored, and evaluated. It should not end just at the level of skilling them or educating them. It should not end there. It should be a continuous process that how it is to be implemented, how it is to be monitored, and how it is to be evaluated. And also, we need to inform by understanding existing gender awareness, the identities, the role and responsibilities, existing gender disparities, and linking lifelong learning. Many programs equate women's empowerment by addressing the poverty, social inequality, soft skill training. Soft skill training also consists of critical thinking, awareness, self-esteem, ethno-cultural linguistic identities. So these are very, very important. All these above aim at transformation of power relationship. Then, as I've told already, that bottom-up approach is required for reskilling and upskilling. Women empowerment is a process rather than a short-term outcome. So there is a great example already existing in Odisha as a Mission Shakti, and they are making healthier nation by feeding them with the millet. The millet mania is a big example which Mission Shakti is taking over and feeding the people and making them healthy. So that is a big example already there. So for doing any program, for making any program successful, we need to understand the problem. Then we need to invest in the policies to help women, because women have been doing the unpaid caregiving and domestic duties. So we need to come up that. So women should be provided with care leave, and they should be provided with the preschools. More female role models should be there. Aim for the snowball effect, being aware of unconscious bias and building strong pipeline for the promotion. And we should, like the way the women of Jindal Steel, they have been felicitated for their good work. So we need to encourage them that their good work should also be recognized if they work better. So then we need to design tool for unbanked women. New technologies and products should be designed by keeping the woman in mind, so that more low-income women are included in the financial system. So it should be women-friendly technology there. They should be taught about that so that we can come up with some better options for everybody. Then we need to understand what motivates women. It is already been told that women is more competitive and they are best team players. So by this, it is understood that there should not be any gap, and recognize the value that women provide in supporting colleagues. Women often intervene to manage their well-being. It should be noticed and rewarded. Artificial intelligence should not be biased against the women candidate for the technical roles. So the women should be encouraged to do the technical roles. There should be monitoring violence against women. Prevention bodies should be set up. So make diversity a priority for startups. Startup with diverse workforce report higher innovation revenues. Increased diversity will always increase the innovative revenues in the leadership team. So my takeaway points for this is that learning pathways should be created for everybody, for the women specifically, to narrow the gap, also which will further enhance the employability and sustainable livelihood. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor. I think key takeaway was continuous skilling. Lifelong skilling is what keeps the woman ahead. And now we move on to our last speaker on the dais, Mrs. Poonam Mahapatra, who is chairperson of the Bhubaneswar chapter of the FICCI Ladies Organization. We have worked together in the past, and the FLO in Odisha is doing very interesting things. We'd like to hear from you about FLO and women in skilling. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, let me thank everyone here, Skill Odisha, FICCI, Srimati Sujata Karthikeyan, Mr. Subrato Bagchi, Srimati Usha Pani, Mr. Rajesh Pankaj, and all dignitaries on and off the stage for giving me this opportunity to represent FLO here in this forum. In today's world, we have already, we have spoken a lot about women's empowerment, and also a lot has been done in this direction. But however, having said that, there are still some gaps, and because of which percentage of women workforces in India is declining. I feel, in my knowledge, these issues are mostly because women labor or women workforce in today's world are more in informal sector, and they have to be formalized. Rural women vocational training is happening a lot, but somewhere I feel, we are limited to the notion of feminine and masculine division of labors. Of course, we might start with those notions or those sectors, but we should not be limited to them. We as women, sometimes our knowledge is, confined or limited when it comes to documentation processes, branding, marketing skills, which is very much essential for our better positioning in the entrepreneurial world. So what is the way forward? We have these gaps, we know that. Many people are working towards it, but as per my knowledge, what is the way forward is we have to reimagine skilling and put more focus on technology and building, connecting everyone into a forum in rural areas where they can sometimes, some areas are doing much better than others, or some areas are advanced in some sector where knowledge can be shared. I feel connection and reskilling is important. And when I say connection, digital connection is what I mean. I'll tell you a simple example. There was a survey conducted where it was analyzed that more than 45% of men in rural areas have an access to mobile or technology, whereas less than whereas the same number is around 22 or 25% for women in rural areas. So that is where we can work upon. Create more gender sensitive infrastructure, better ratios of female trainers, better security and facilities like separate washrooms, easier access to sanitary needs, and we as women, not someone won't help us in that, we as women and girls of coming generations, we need to break the notion of feminine and masculine division of labor and focus more into IT, media, hospitality, banking, and there are a lot many where we can explore to make us enable for Industry 4.0. We should all be thinking on those terms there where we are focusing and moving towards Industry 4.0. All bodies like policymakers, business group, private, government, institutes, universities should collaborate towards this cause, and we are doing great. Everyone is doing great, but somewhere we are working in silos is what I feel. And here I'm talking about FLO's contribution. FLO has impacted more than 60,000 women's life in the past 3 years through digital, financial literacy, agriculture trainings, tailoring setups, and we look forward to make Odisha workplaces are more gender inclusive, and actually by making it more gender inclusive, we actually can contribute towards India's growth trajectory. This year we have already signed 2 MOUs with Mo College Abhiyan and Commissionerate Police in this direction to work towards skilling, health and safety awareness, and to make our workplace more gender inclusive. With me belonging to sustainable agriculture and energy sectors from a business standpoint, my focus would be that, because that is where long-term sustainable businesses are heading to. So we should also think more about contributing towards that. Last but not the least, Odisha government is doing fabulous work towards this. Mission Shakti, especially the Mission Shakti department, is a huge drive for women empowerment and support, which other states lack. And hence, we should all come together and join our hands towards this cause. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Poonam. And very important points, digital divide has to be touched, financial literacy is important, and we look forward to working with FLO definitely much more deeply. So now we conclude this panel discussion, and before I go over to the questions, the audience has heard a lot of things. Apan mane bahut kichi kotha sunile, but as always in a discussion, I would ask the speakers to give us that one takeaway point. Kota ame aji meeting ru aji nei ki jibu. What we will take back in the skilling sector for women. So from all of you, I would like to hear one takeaway point from for our audience.
Yes. I start? Okay. In short, okay. I think the one takeaway point I would like to say is that like we always say, it takes the entire village to raise one child. If we really want to solve the issue of reducing gender gap, we need all of us working together towards it.
My takeaway is, point is to narrow the gap is brand Shakti. That is the thing I would like to say. The Shakti, we should believe in the Shakti of women.
Ma'am, I would say that first is unlearn stereotypes of our perception, and secondly, build a skilled ecosystem where we can have gender-friendly infrastructure, working conditions, designs and entrepreneurship models, and access, equality of access.
Thank you. Your mic. Sohini, one takeaway point in short.
So my takeaway is that now more than ever, manufacturing is right for women. We need to invest in the right skills across the entire life cycle of a woman employee. But that isn't enough. We need infrastructure, we need care infrastructure, we need safe spaces to live in, accessibility and so on.
Poonam.
So, one takeaway for our public at large, all the generations, current generation and future generations to come is focus on non-traditional professions like IT, media, hospitality, banking, and make women ready for Industry 4.0, and for better female participation in workforce. From a government or policy maker standpoint, we should fund programs that have minimum of 30% women. We should focus on soft skill, get more trained candidates, give 90 days retention tracking for women, reskill women to go online and explore the new sectors. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all. A big round of applause to all our panelists. And now the house is open for questions. If we could take 2 or 3 questions before we close for lunch. Yes. There's a gentleman in the front. Can you please pass on the mic to him?
हेलो मु जड़े पुरुष होकर मोर नाटा जड़े नारींकर मो ना हूँ देवी प्रसाद मिश्र तेणु मु सुजाता कार्तिकेयन पांड्यान मैडम को निश्चित भाव में धन्यवाद देवी कृतज्ञता जनइबी से नारी मानू एत सम्मान प्रदर्शन कर पुरुष मान सहित समकक्ष होगा योजना कर तेणु नारी मान विषय मु समस्त को नमस्कार कर समस्त नारी को एवं पुरुष माने नारी मान सपक्ष आसवा उचित एवं समस्ते नारी मान सब समक्ष समकक्ष करने उचित से गोटे कविता मुझे लिखी गोटे सनेट नारी पाई नारी तुम्हें माया रम्या तुम काया केबे हुआ जाया सर्वे करी बाया पितृमातृ कन्या आनंदर बन्या भाईर भगिनी स्वामीर संगिनी आनंददायिनी दुखर हरिणी मधुर भाषिणी दुर्गति नाशिनी नारी तुम्हें सृष्टि स्थिति प्रगतिर अविश्रांत धारा नारी तुम्हें सृष्टि स्थिति प्रगतिर अविश्रांत धारा तुम गति तुम्हें मुक्ति तुम पाई हसे वसुंधरा तुम्हें गति तुम्हें मुक्ति तुम पाई हसे वसुंधरा। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद आपण को धन्यवाद। ए पटरे टिके माइक देबे ए पटरे या शी इज बिहाइंड यू।
Myself Sisir, I am running a foundation called Swavalambi Foundation. In Odisha, a lot of groundwork has gone into the skill. Amazing work has been gone, including Mission Shakti. But today, Professor Niyarika Vora has raised a very, very pertinent point, wealth creation. Solopreneur to my... Hello. Do you have specific plan about it? The state government has planned how to convert the solopreneur to entrepreneur. We are talking about a lot of skill development program, but how we can convert this solopreneurship to entrepreneurship? Madam Kartikan Pandyan or Poonam ji or Bhura ji, please question.
In fact, this is the question I wanted to ask Dr. Niharika also. But okay, I'll give you a small shot on that. So the government's aim right now, as I said, is SHG to SME. For the last 23 years, we have promoted SHGs who have been doing small businesses at home and earning money for themselves. But when you talk of converting them to SMEs, the critical thing that comes along is training, is skilling. जणे घरे पापड़ बनाऊँ, I'll give you a very small example. But ताकू लिज्जत पापड़ की कोटी convert करिया पे हेले, you need that technical training for scaling up business, one. Second, you need fund infusion. From solopreneurs to big entrepreneurs, unless there is capital investment, you cannot do it. So there, Government of Odisha has now given an interest subsidy component up to loans of 5 lakhs. We promote producer groups in a big way, women's collectives. So funding, training, I would say, is keen. Third is market. Women, when they come out of kitchens and homes and they are working as entrepreneurs, a key feature is linked to markets. The data on markets is not there with them. So a lot of support system, a lot of hand-holding for the first 2-3 years. And I think Government of Odisha is on the right path, because what we have done, what government has done is give them a platform for government procurement. So when they take off in government procurement first 3, 4, 5 years, they learn very important things about markets and businesses. For example, all panchayat tanks in Odisha are handed over to Mission Shakti groups for pisciculture, where there is a subsidy component. So she takes this tank, does her work, there is support from the veterinary officers, you learn about pisciculture. And then some of them grow into big entrepreneurs. So we have women's collectives who are doing more than 1 crore business in fish production from their tanks. So all these are very critical components. We are still learning on the way. Thank you. Anybody else? If not, then there's somebody here. I think we'll take this as the last question and close.
Myself, Principal, Government Polytechnic, Malkangiri. So we have the less enrollment.
Subunai, Kaku question?
So my question is, we are facing problems in girls enrollment in ITI and polytechnics. We have the gender gap.
Enrollment in ITI, is that your question?
ITI and polytechnics, we are not getting sufficient girls for taking admission. So can Mission Shakti will help us for increasing girls enrollment in ITI and polytechnics?
All right, so as much as I understand, the question is about how to improve enrollment in ITIs and polytechnics. I think, one, all the schools need to be primed about this. Many school principals, teachers don't know about it. So I think, one, we need to start talking at the school level, class 10, class 8, class 9 level, that this is also an alternative that's available to you. And the second thing is, I think we need to, through the SHGs, through the panchayats, through the various agencies, talk to the women about the possibility of formal training through ITIs. So I think we have to fix the pipeline, and that's what we need to do.
So thank you. I think that answers your question. And what we are already doing here is STEM training in schools, science and maths training for girls in schools, and the link between schools and ITIs, so that people are aware, mothers and fathers, parents are aware that there is an option for their daughters. And the biggest advertisement is when you see 10 girls have got jobs in Dubai from our ITIs, from our polytechnics, then that itself is, a big push to the other girls. The demand is created that ame bhi jai paribu, ame bhi empty life lead kari paribu. So yeah, thank you, doctor. So we'll close here with I would wrap up and say that, a woman who is skilled is a veritable powerhouse in herself. She will change everything that she touches. There is a primordial energy, as you say, the Shakti component. There is a primordial energy in women, which if matched with the right skilling, the right atmosphere, she can change everything she touches, her life, her family's life, the community's life, and the whole state gets transformed because of it. So thank you, everybody, and thanks to the audience who've been patient listeners. And I hope we've got a lot of takeaways from this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. I would request our moderator, madam, and our panelists to stay back with us for a few more moments. Yes, I would request Srimati Sujata R. Karthikeyan, madam, to kindly felicitate Mrs. Guha Poonam Tapas Kumar, IAS Chief Executive Officer, Ormus. Would request madam to kindly felicitate Professor Niharika Vora, Professor IIM Ahmedabad. Would request madam to kindly felicitate Ms. Dr. Monica Agarwal, Dean Faculty of Design, MGM University. Request madam to kindly felicitate Ms. Poonam Mahapatra, Chairperson, Bhubaneswar Chapter FICCI Ladies Organization. Request madam to kindly felicitate Ms. Sohini Sinha, Head Learning Leadership Development and Talent Management, Tata Electronics. And now I would humbly invite onto the stage Mr. Bruce Poe, CEO IT Education Services, Singapore, and Srimati Usha Pari, Madam, IAS, Principal Secretary, Skill Development and Technical Education, Government of Orissa. This was indeed a very enlightening and a powerful session for sure. And I would request Mr. Poe and Srimati Padi Madam to kindly felicitate our moderator for the session, Srimati Sujata R. Karthikeyan, IAS, Commissioner cum Secretary, Department of Mission Shakti, Government of Orissa. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for this movement? This is a very special and precious moment, having the women in charge on the stage, creating, setting, motivating, inspiring the ladies, the girls ahead for their future. We'll have another felicitation for the successful completion of Nano Unicorns. I would request our dignitaries to stay back for the scene. I would request Madam Usha Madam and Bruce Poe sir to kindly stay back for a felicitation. I would so before we begin the next session, we have yet another special felicitation. For that, I would invite onto the stage Shri Subrato Bagchi sir, Chairman, Orissa Skill Development Authority, and Srimati Usha Pari Madam, IAS Principal Secretary, Skill Development and Technical Education, Government of Orissa. I would request our dignitaries to kindly come on stage. There is a special felicitation for the successful completion of Nano Unicorns. And I welcome now our recipients, Kamini Kanchan Sahu, E. Shiva Prasad Rao, Shubhranshu Shekhar Sahu, S.K. Salman, Gopal Meher, Kalu Sahu, Manoranjan Mahanto, Naresh Behra, Bishwajit Bhattacharya, Ajit Kumar Mohanty, Bishwajit Mahanta, Pabitra Kumar Rauto, Ananta Mahanta, Buddha Bisoi, and Debakar Sabat. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special felicitation on the successful completion of Nano Unicorns. Can we have a huge round of applause and welcome these young talents on this achievement? Once again, congratulating all the young talents on this achievement. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we will be having our next session from 2 p.m. onwards. I would request everybody to kindly be on time, join us back, be seated. From 2 p.m. we will be starting with our third panel discussion that will be on linking apprenticeship and internship to skilling for the new world. तेज दर्शक बंधु मंचर थी प्रत्येक छात्र प्रत्येक पार्टिसिपेंट यहाँ गोटे बहुत बड़ अचिवमेंट एवं आपण करताली अभिनंदन जनवाई निहाती भाव में आवश्यक जीवन एक नूतन आरंभ यहाँ बहुत बड़ पड़ाव मेनी मेनी कंग्राचुलेशंस एंड प्रभु जगन्नाथ पाखे कामना एमती अनेक अनेक आहरी अचिवमेंट से जीवन में हासिल करूँ धन्यवाद। समस्त को पुणी थे कही रखा चाहबू जे दुईटा बड़ू सामान शार्प दुईटा बड़ू थर्ड पैनल डिस्कशन आरंभ हम समस्त को अनुरोध जमारू डेरी न करी दुईटा सुधा आसिकी आसन ग्रहण करें। तृतीय सेशन रहिबो लिंकिंग अप्रेंटिसशिप एंड इंटर्नशिप टू स्किलिंग फॉर द न्यू वर्ल्ड। समस्त रेसिपिएंट्स को रिक्वेस्ट करी स्टेज को आसीजिबे फॉर अ ग्रुप फोटोग्राफ। All the awardees are requested to join our dignitaries on the stage for a group photograph.